We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot. Ah!
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a fool raid.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise back wolves.
Before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? We are back with hopefully, well, not hopefully. I think this is our last late episode, Mr. Jennings.
You said you think.
Well, I corrected myself. It is official. This will be our last late episode. Because we got running clock tonight, boy.
Oh, shit.
All right. I mean, it's kind of what was expected, but, you know, you always hope, right? You gotta keep the dream. Keep the dream alive.
Right. In that Bernie voice.
Well, I was going for, who is that? That's Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One.
Oh, shit.
Rogue One came up again. There
Oh, shit.
Keep the dream alive.
He said
For the rebellion.
Oh, shit.
So that's where we're at. Yeah. A little bit of a rough night. Like I said, running clock, and it's over. So, yay, football.
How'd our boys do?
All right, not great. All right.
Okay.
The Tremere went down towards the end of the first half. Just busted his shoulder up a little bit. I'm hoping he's all right, but honestly, I mean, he played a good game up until that point. De Leon, they gave him some love at the end of the game. They let him return a kickoff, and he fucking trucked somebody, so that was cool. But I wish those two guys nothing but the best. I've got some contacts out in the coaching world at the college level that I'm trying to reach out to as soon as I get their film together. So once I got that going, we'll try to get that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. How'd our local gymnast do?
He did all right. He ended up running some QB tonight because QB1 went down. He did okay. I mean, he had one or two he could have broken.
What? 10-step drop?
I mean, with our team, it's more like a 30-step drop and shake and bake, baby. Shake and bake.
Right.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it's done. It's done. That's the best thing I could say about this season. I mean, at the end of the day, we started off the season tough in terms of we didn't get true two-a-days. We didn't get pads on until a week before the first game. I mean, we had almost an entire sophomore offensive line. Like, we had one senior on the O-line. I had the two seniors on the defensive ends. And, I mean, they played as well as they could, but we played a lot of inside run teams, and that neutralizes that threat. Tonight, what I was hoping for was the fact that this was the first time we played a team that wanted to throw the ball more. And, they ended up running on us because we started going three-man sets, and they were like, well, fuck it, we'll run like everyone else has done to you this season. And so, yeah, that's how it went down. But at least in terms of football, we did get some positive news last week, and I got the hat. I got the B-Flow hat on.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Bills smacked the Raiders. So, fuck Mike Brown. Fuck the Raiders. I will say y'all bottled up Josh. You guys did bottle him up. He didn't run on you at all. But it's all good because we got the Buffa-4-0, baby.
That's
And
all
we
right.
might be 5-0 without having to play a game. They might just give us the Titans win.
Listen, hopefully we meet again and you see the full squad.
You could try. You could certainly try.
Listen, that's a completely different game without Byron Edwards and Ruggs and three of the starting line.
I mean, you can make whatever excuses you want. The Bills won.
I mean, it is regardless, but you got
your push-ups in, so it's all
good.
You
got it. We'll see, though.
Oh man, it was fun watching that game with you, though. That was good. That was good. I do think it'll be good for fights. I think a game was a little long for us. Unless we had maybe 3 people and we had a little more to bounce off of.
Right.
So I said, it's all good. Much love. But, nah, man. So we got that going. So the Bills got the Titans this week. Who the Raiders got this week? Can y'all bounce back?
I don't know. I didn't even.
See, you were so salty after the win that.
Listen, I'm so sick of Derek Carr. I'm ready to denounce my Raiderhood.
That's what you keep saying, but you keep rapping the silver and black.
I'm gonna give him till next year. If he walks out on the field next year, it's over for me.
Keo, I see you out there. Y'all ugly. You ugly. Oh man, yo. So you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going?
I do have an inadvertent thought.
Well, then let's hear it, Mr. Jennings.
And it's bad for us. We got the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, no, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah, we got the Chiefs this week. That's gonna be a bad one.
Yeah. What's up?
It really doesn't matter as long as they keep playing Carr. They all gonna be bad ones, except for the Jets, Colts, then possibly the Dolphins.
Hey man, we're beating my predictions right now. I said we'd be 3-1 right now, or 2-2, because I think I gave you the game in Vegas.
Yeah, you might have gave it. No, I think we split it.
Oh, did I say split?
Yeah.
All right.
But inadvertent wise, I don't know how accurate this is because I didn't cite my sources.
Okay.
But
These are always my favorite kind of cliff quotes. Let's see what we got.
But I saw an article stating that the state of Texas was filing child pornography charges against Netflix for that Cuties movie.
I mean, okay.
Now, okay, then the lawyer in me came out when I heard that, and I was thinking, objection.
Cliff Jennings, Esquire.
I was like, objection. You know what I mean? And then I saw the new American Pie. Have you seen this?
Wait, there's a new American Pie? Did they? It's not the same cast, right? They finally changed the cast.
It's girls now.
Okay.
Now, in this progressive world, I understand why you would want to.
Is it girls like Blockers? Like, I thought Blockers was all right. The one with John
Yeah,
Cena
I like Blockers.
Yeah.
Blockers was.
But it was the same principle.
Blockers was created from the standpoint of the parent.
Well, it was, but it was girls trying to do the same thing that the guys were trying to do in American Pie.
Listen, it does not work.
It
does not work. It does not work. In this world, it does not work. It's Ghostbusters, baby. It just does not work. It does not work. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I watched that movie and I struck my own objection. I said, okay, you know what? Texas might be onto something going at Netflix.
Texas might have a point here.
And then I thought to myself, beyond this whole situation, right? You got these delusional ass motherfuckers out there talking about Trump going to take all the racism, or not racism, but the child sex trafficking,
right? The QAnon
pedophilia.
Meanwhile, he's
and all
the
that.
one admitting going into girls' like dressing rooms and shit of Miss Teen USA and shit.
Here nor there. Listen. If those are the same people that you can't explain that Trump is full of shit. You feel what I'm saying?
I hear you.
This is the same man, and I digress from my point, that has inappropriate pictures with his daughter.
Right.
With his daughter.
Talking about how the thing that he and Ivanka have in common is how much they like sex.
listen, you know what? And you know how my mind works, so I'm trying to play devil's advocate and think, like,
Which
well,
you do a good job of.
Sometimes, pictures can be taken from different angles that make things look different. You know what I mean? But then I thought to myself, no. Because first and foremost, let's be 100. Who else has an inappropriate picture with their daughter?
Right.
First.
Right.
Secondly, these pictures were taken back in a day where there were no smartphones.
Right.
Meaning this had to be developed.
Right. And this had
meaning,
to stay it wasn't
meaning no, meaning you got the pictures back and we're like, I love this one. Put this one out.
Keep this one. Keep it. This is the
Let's be 100. Anybody in their right mind, if they would have taken a picture by mistake that may have looked slightly inappropriate with their daughter, would have looked at that picture and said, oh, fuck no.
Yeah,
what the fuck
shit.
is this? Get rid of this. But instead, you're putting it up, like when they ask for pictures. Like, give me pictures of you as a father. And he's like, well, how about this one?
How about, yeah. She looks so good here.
Now let me hop
She
off
looks the greatest.
Right. She was so pure.
So pure.
Let me hop back on the rails. So you got all these delusional people that say Trump is going to out the pedophilia and get rid of all the sex trafficking and all that, right? Meanwhile, 60 to 85% of our current country has been desensitized to the subject to the point that you can think
once you get gaslit for so long,
you can think it's a good idea.
It's a possibility, or yes, it's a good idea even
to put out a movie like Cuties or the American Pie movie. And when I say
so I'm with you on Cuties without having seen the American Pie with girls. What I'm questioning is I feel like that's done well in other movies. Like Blockers is one.
Bro,
Booksmart's another one where I feel like it's done well. So is it just an execution error for American Pie, or is it as bad as Cuties? Like
it was cringeworthy. It was cringeworthy. Okay. And I'm not saying like cause Cuties is something completely different than what this is. But let me give you a scene.
Well, of course it's cringeworthy. It's
even
the original American Pie was cringeworthy.
Let me explain to you a scene, sir.
All right.
And this isn't one of the ones where my mouth was like, I mean, I still was a little taken back by it, but my jaw didn't straight drop. There was a scene where, I'm gonna give you two. There was one scene where the female Stifler, right? The female Stifler, which is the sexually assured, hot, you know what I mean? Like, I'll sleep around and I don't care because I own my shit type.
Yeah.
Is dressed up in like a little trench coat type jump off with her guidance counselor chained to like a wall.
Wait, what?
Right, like basically like they had messed around before and this was her way of catching him in the act because he was chained to this wall and now she can take a picture.
This is like where they try to catch the the athletic director or the coach in Mean Girls.
Listen, right? When I saw that I was like, okay, what the fuck are they?
What's the intent here?
Listen, then this is where I was like, okay, I almost turned it off at this point. So one of the girls,
I'm
there's a group
impressed
of
you.
four.
So wait. Before you go any further,
Yes,
how long is this movie and how far did you make it? Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole
All
thing
right,
because
all
after
right.
a while,
You were like, this is material for the show. Let's do it.
I mean, no, it wasn't even beyond that. Like, it wasn't beyond that. And it wasn't like Cuties is something where it's like you ask yourself as you're watching, how can I watch this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where you have to
like how
question
can I
it.
watch this as a father of a girl?
So this American Pie was more just a bad movie.
It was just inappropriate. Like it in for and why I say the progressive, we're in this progressive movement,
Yeah.
and it's like you say you want one thing, but then things like this come out that contribute to another. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like these movies right here are not the way you get young boys to respect the space of females.
Right. All you're doing is actually the reverse at that point. You're
Exactly.
making it seem like it's something they
Oh,
want.
they're into it just as much as we
I
are.
am, yeah.
Let me. Second scene. One of the girls is a virgin. Premise of the movie exact same as the boys. Well, not all of them are virgins, so they're not all making a pact to lose their virginity. But what they do is we'll make a pact to get the things we feel we need.
Okay.
So
that's
Stifler,
at least in that way, it's different than Blockers, because Blockers,
right,
they were trying to lose their virginity.
So well, here we go. So there's a virgin of the group. She wants to lose her virginity to the man that she loves. Okay. The Stifler of the group, since she's so sexually assured, and she needs to be with a nice guy that isn't going to take advantage of her promiscuity.
Okay.
Type shit. So on and so forth. There's like two other girls, but one of the scenes is the virgin of the group who wants to lose her virginity to the man she loves gets talked into getting a sex toy by one of the other girls in the group.
Okay.
So they go to the sex toy shop and the lady helps them out.
Lion's Den. All right.
Right. The lady helps them out without going into too many details. They end up picking these panties with the vibrator in them panties that you can control with the remote
Bluetooth
control
or whatever. Yeah. I mean, not that I know anything about that.
Listen, not that I know anything about that. So. And not that I haven't had more than half of my life experience with something like that.
Not at all. But continue. All right.
So, listen. So, lady helps her out. She's all embarrassed. Of course, in true American Pie fashion, one of the girls says, "It's not like you're going to ever see her again. Just get it and let's go." So she gets it. They go. She goes home. She, speeds past her dad. Dad, I'm studying for a test. Runs up the steps. Goes to use the toy. Now, just so happens, new neighbors come, stop by, knock on the door, introduce themselves. Hey, it's the new neighbors.
And she's got them on.
Listen.
Right? That's the story. All right.
The neighbor who comes over is the same lady who sold her the panties at the sex toy. Now, here's where it just gets wild, where they're like, okay, how egregious can we get, right? So.
Does she have the app on her phone?
No. No. Sir.
Would that have been a better episode or better movie?
Cheers to your perversion. That would have been even worse, though. No. So here's the thing, right? So she's in there. She's doing this blase skit. She's playing with her little shit. They're downstairs talking. Now, the son of the boy, or the son of the lady who comes to introduce herself, is the new hot guy at school.
Okay, of course.
So they have the conversation with the dad. The dad's single, the mom's single, so they're flirting with each other type shit. He eventually says, well, you should meet my daughter. She enjoys surprises. Let's go speak with her. That's exactly what he says. I don't know about the let's go speak with her part, but whatever.
This is like the sock scene from American Pie, the first one,
knocks on the door. I guess hears her moaning yes or whatever, opens the door. She's now panicked. You know what I mean? No, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. She's doing this with her boyfriend from college on the other end of the laptop.
Oh, okay. So she's
like they're
Skyping or whatever.
I don't know. What do you
camming.
Yeah,
virtual
okay.
sex. I don't know what you're looking for there.
Too old for that. That the name of that jump off, and I don't have experience with that. So let me just be honest. That's
since high school.
No, listen, not even. That was before our what's the name?
Well, back there it was still pixelated, so you couldn't really tell what was.
So listen, they bust in. She's in there. She's shocked now. She slams her laptop shut, flies off the bed, but you can still hear the dude on the other end.
Okay.
Who's beating his meat. Now, here's where it gets crazy. She hops up, knocks her laptop off. So does the control to her panties.
Okay.
So now she's standing up, doing a little deer leg thing where your legs, you know what I mean?
Right. A little wobbly.
Right. They're talking to her. The mom is now putting two and two together that she sold her those panties and she has them on right now. So she's like the dad's asking her questions and she's thinking like, how can I get them out of here? You know what I mean?
So the one who sold them is aware, and she's trying.
Right, and she's like, "Okay, well, we met before, and I think she should, get back to her studying type shit, or whatever."
And the dad is oblivious, of course.
Right, oblivious.
Because dads are always oblivious because we don't know what the fuck's going on ever.
Right,
Fuck
like we
shit.
were doing all this shit before the directors of the movie ever got laid. Now, listen. The son accidentally steps on the control.
Okay.
Which turns up the volume.
The volume or just the speed? Like, can you hear
whatever, you know what I mean. Volume,
the intensity,
speed.
Whatever.
Right. Needless to say, she, in front of everybody and then falls back. I'm like, okay, this is too fucking much. You feel what I'm saying? So after it's over, the dude realizes he's standing on something, reaches down to pick it up, and he's like, okay, those are some high-tech panties you got there. And gave her back.
Called her out on it?
Right, but it was after everybody else had left the room. Now, secondly, I thought to myself, first of all, no man in general is coming to see my daughter's dwellings.
Fair.
You feel what I'm saying? On my behalf. Can
we roll up? Can we roll up like Martin and Will and what was it, Bad Boys 2? Who the fuck is Reggie?
Listen. Now, if you're old enough, you're 16 and you got a little friend and y'all go to y'all's room, that's fine. Keep the door open though.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? But I'm not going to bring anybody to my daughter's dwellings, period. And if she has her door shut, company or not, I'm going to assume she's either indisposed or she's not in the mood for meeting anyone right now.
Right. No doubt.
But
then you don't have the comedy gold that you're talking about, Cliff.
Listen, is it though? Is it comedy gold? Because I was sitting there and I couldn't laugh. Nothing was funny so much as it was just shocking. Like, is this where we've gone? You know what I mean? Like, is this?
I hear you in terms of it's the whole. It's what Chappelle said, right? When he left the show originally, you're sending, instead of being satirical, you are sending it up, or you are setting it up in terms
instead of using humor to expose the situation,
you're contributing to it. Right,
you're promoting it. You're promoting the situation. Those are just two scenes right there. And basically, how each person has their own introduction scene.
Right.
That was Stifler's and that was the little virgin girls.
Okay.
Now the other two, I can't say they were any better, you know what I mean? But they weren't quite
as egregious.
Man, listen. It was It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, and I thought to myself, like, you know what? That's very specific. You know what I mean? And we've been brainwashed into allowing this to be okay for a while now.
Yeah.
Almost to the point that the things that you do point out,
they're so far gone that
right? Or not even that, or it's a misdirect where it's like, wait, you're getting on people for this,
right?
but you allow
but
shit
this
like
is being
this?
allowed over here. You know, we've got a saying for the Rams. Wait, I gotta make sure I'm good on the camera. Fake fight over here. Real fight over here.
Right. It's a misdirect. Didn't I say it last week when I said I want to be able to see the binary code? I'm trying to get down to the zeros and ones. That's exactly what it is. Is people are so fascinated with the image that they don't see what's making it up.
Right.
And if Trump is the guy to rid the world of pedophilia and child sex trafficking, then I would definitely look into who's been clearing shit at Netflix. Definitely.
Who's giving the green light? The problem is that
Listen.
Netflix is a global company, and I don't even know what division okayed that movie.
I know American division okayed that American Pie. Now, I'm not saying the American Pie was just that awful.
You said
I'm
it
just
wasn't
saying,
egregious in terms of it's not as exploitative, at least on the surface, as Cuties was.
Right. I'm just
it's in
saying,
poor taste.
given the light we already have that Cuties information.
Yeah, it makes it worse.
Exactly.
Yeah. I hear you.
Like, come on now. I was blown away.
This might be my favorite inadvertent thought ever. Well done.
And it wasn't even it wasn't even like it was like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I was
just
rooting for the Ghostbusters, and I was just like, oh no.
But that was just a bad movie. Like could have been better. Actually, you know what? There is another Ghostbusters coming out that's not the all-female cast. That is basically the requel that we wanted, which is, when I say requel, what is it? Yeah, like a rebooted sequel.
Right.
So it takes place in the same universe, like the all female version.
That's the first time I've heard that terminology.
The female version was like an alternate universe from the Ghostbusters. The one that's coming out is basically like 20 years, 30 years after the Ghostbusters.
I think I saw that actually,
and it actually looked like a really good trailer. It's one of those things that the COVID took away from us. So.
Right. But what I meant by that was, and you just summed it up. What I meant by that was, people look at, when you say Ghostbusters, and they look at the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then they look at that Ghostbusters and they're like, that's not a part of that.
No.
You know what I mean? That has nothing to do with that. And that's how this American Pie is going to be. It's like, that's the American Pie. That has nothing to do with
the original American Pie. And honestly,
that has nothing to do, not even the beta houses and the naked this has nothing to do with that.
Well, and even like the Disney takeover of Star Wars was requels. Like outside of Rogue One, the one we talked about last week, like the new trilogy is really kind of a reboot sequel, but it's not. It could be a completely different universe and it wouldn't matter. Other than the fact that they bring in Luke Skywalker, they bring in Han Solo, they bring in Leia, but they're only there so tangentially. It's like it's a reboot, is what it is.
Right.
And so I'm actually a fan. So the one that's been tossed around a lot lately is what happened if, or what would the take be on like a Back to the Future kind of requel? Meaning, like if somebody found the DeLorean 30 years after the last Back to the Future movie, would that be worthwhile? And I know that's probably more of a geek culture question. I don't know. Are you a fan of Back to the Future or no?
No,
Okay,
I never was. Fair. And it's not that it wasn't a good movie. Back to the Future, I would watch, and I remember as a child asking myself why everybody else loves this movie.
All right, fair.
And I can't get into it. Yeah. Now, the first one wasn't bad. That was all right, where he did the rock and roll, discovered the rock and roll and all that. Didn't he kiss his mom or something?
His mom kissed him, but yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But, it's been here, huh?
Right.
They've been promoting incest and all kinds of shit.
And honestly, the best example of a requel we have right now is fucking Cobra Kai. It's taking the exact same universe. It's rebooting the series, but it's also sequel in terms of it's 30 years later.
Yeah.
And Daniel San still thinks that he's important.
You are absolutely correct. Listen, that prickhead.
Did you see the teaser for season 3? They said season 3's dropping in January, man.
No, I didn't see that.
I thought they were gonna hold it until like Q4 of next year.
You better while it's still hot.
Well, absolutely. I think that was actually the original plan, was that they were going to drop it in the second half of next year.
Right.
And then when it popped as big as it did, and they realized that nothing is opening up yet, like all these movies keep pushing, Netflix is like counting their money, like,
I'd have emergency called the cast back in. Like, listen, I know you just got off a couple weeks ago, but you got to get back in to film the third.
No. So season 3 was already shot. Like, that's why people were pissed. Like, they didn't just drop season 3 with it.
Right.
But I think what they did was actually smart. They dropped the first 2 seasons, built up the buzz, built up the anticipation, and then they dropped this teaser trailer that says, guess what? It's coming in January. And they've already approved season 4. Like, that was part of the trailer. Like, season 3 in January, season 4 coming soon.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, then hand your business.
Right. I mean, I watch it, of course, but I can't say I'm like, oh.
I mean, here's the flip side: is there's nothing else coming out new right now. They fucking canceled Glow, which I was pissed about.
I did hear that, and that was my shit.
Yeah, man, those first 3 seasons of Glow, those were good. I
did fuck with Glow.
And I'm trying to think, like, Stranger Things got delayed, like Netflix delayed so I guess this is the only new thing they've got coming out, because they did not. I think Stranger Things, I don't think they finished filming, so they haven't. I don't know if they've started production back up there. And honestly, I go back and forth on Stranger Things. I'm like, it's all right.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little too much for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
And
that Utopia, though, boy.
Listen, you see what I'm saying?
You telling me that was a little, like, dude. So I got Shar to watch it, but it gets a little too violent for her.
I knew it would. You
set me up.
The part where he started screaming.
So I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
I've got 2 episodes left, I think. But like,
she's a school teacher, so I knew that I knew that was gonna.
Right.
I knew that was gonna strike a nerve, because they'll kill kids.
Oh yeah, well, and that's what I was not expecting, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but like, unless you're ready to see, and it's not that I don't think that they actually show when they kill a kid, but it's high, like, you know what happens,
right?
And
but see, I like that though.
I hear you. Because
I'm not
it's
saying
like
that I like the kill. You know what I mean? I just like, let's be 100. Let's be real here. Let's not make shit to keep people inside their safety net. You know what I mean? Like, let's expand and let's show, like, shit like that goes on a daily basis, and to shield yourself from it as if I don't want to know about it.
You're not
like,
helping anything by shit.
Right. Like, let's get 100% real here. So usually when I see shit like that, I'm like, oh, so you're willing to be as real as possible. I'm all in. Because that's just the kind of person I am. I'll say something about myself to you that I know will sway the average man's view on me.
Yeah.
Just because that's how open I am. I don't have a problem telling you the truth. And if that scares you off or makes you feel a certain kind of way, bye.
Right.
I don't care.
No, I mean, I'm with you. Like, I like it because for the exact same reason. Like, okay, so they're willing. It's
refreshing.
It's the Game of Thrones principle, right? Where, like, they're willing to kill off main characters and not bat an eye.
Right. Period. I like shit like that. Like that. Why are we talking? Like, you're talking to give the enemy time to, make a move. Nope. Bang. I don't got time for you. Let's get moving. Are we ready to go? He was slowing us down. Let's go.
So I'm waiting to see it. Like I said, I haven't finished it quite yet. I am waiting to see kind of what twist you're talking about, but
yeah, you're not gonna get it until the second to last episode, or it might be the last. I think it's the second to last episode.
All right, so that'll probably be next time. But I mean, like I said, I like it. I thought it was a good show. So if anybody's looking for something to binge watch, Amazon Prime Utopia, it'll It'll at least give you a week.
Right. It's not for the faint of heart, I'm telling you.
No, it is not. It is not.
But it's a good show.
It is. So we didn't talk about it last week, but the other thing that I watched last week was the South Park special, the pandemic special.
I didn't see that. Is that the one where they shot Token?
Yes.
It is.
Did I talk about that?
No, I just saw it.
You saw it? So that was my favorite part, is where they shot Token. All right, so here's the premise for those that haven't seen it. And this is spoiler alert because it's fucking South Park, and if you haven't watched it yet, you're not going to watch it. So it's the pandemic special, and the premise is that, like, the cops take over for teachers that have quit because of COVID, and because, you know, we treat teachers like shit anyways. So the cops, because they've been defunded, become teachers. All right? So we've got police officers teaching kids. And I don't remember why something breaks out, but the cops shoot Token. Mm-hmm. And then after the fact, they're like, yeah, we've got a case of COVID. Because you remember back in May, where they were
right.
And if you had COVID, or if you had COVID and you were sent to the hospital, it was because of COVID. And the reason that the cops give for it is, well, yeah, he's in the hospital because of COVID. Because if it weren't for COVID, we wouldn't have been in the school to shoot him. I about died, man. I about died.
It tracks.
I about died. I was like, oh shit, they just fucking.
You know,
set up
that's
the
not
whole
even.
thing.
I don't even think that. I don't even. And you know what? It was funny because when I saw that, I also saw people freaking out about it, and I was thinking to myself, like, I haven't even seen the episode yet, and I already know what it is.
Right, because that's South Park. Like South Park is South Park. Don't get me wrong. It's funny because they call it out. Like they've gotten a little far up their own ass about how satirical they are, but they're also willing to call that out themselves. Like they're willing to say, like, yeah, we're real high on our own high horse because we're calling all this shit out. But we're also willing to acknowledge that we're up on our high horse and calling this shit out.
Right. Like, yeah, I saw that what you were talking about.
So it's just funny to me. I about died. I've
never been to South Park. I have a very acquired taste.
No, and don't get me wrong, like you know, if it weren't for, here's the thing. If I wasn't always hanging out with fucking high school kids because of where I coach or because I coach, I don't know that I would be a big South Park fan, but I think because I stayed in that mindset for so long, the shit's just funny to me, and I think I've grown with the show. Like, I didn't watch it when we were younger, and I felt like everybody watched it when we were younger. I didn't watch it until I got to college.
I watched it a little when we were younger, just because. Well,
because it was
they were from the makers of the basketball movie, and I did like that basketball movie, so I wanted to see the cartoon.
Yeah.
So I watched it a little when it came out. I mean, I wasn't really impressed.
I wasn't a big fan until they got satirical. So I wasn't a fan until they got to like season 8 or 9, and I'm like, oh, they're going at it like that. And I just
I don't even think I made it past the first one.
And don't get me wrong, there are episodes like I haven't watched religiously. Like I'll flip it on every once in a while now, but there are points where I'm like, it's just funny. Like there are episodes where I'm like, I can't help but laugh at this. Like,
you know, when
Butters, do you even know who the character of Butters is?
Yeah, the little blonde hair.
Yeah, when Butters becomes a pimp, one of my favorite episodes ever. He's like, that's not my girlfriend. That's just my bottom bitch.
I think I have seen that. You know what? I just came to the realization.
What's that?
And I don't know what this means. Maybe we need to call Jazzy Faye.
Uh-oh.
That I don't like anything that I don't think is real.
Okay.
I won't play a video game with a spaceship or a laser or anything like that because it doesn't equate to reality to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I like the.
See, I like it. I like the escapism aspect. So
I like the old Roman and Viking games because I immerse my mind into what it would take to survive that specific time period. You know what I mean? And it's like if I can't if it hasn't happened or I don't conceive it to be a reality in my world, I don't even put myself in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I got you.
And I'm not saying, listen, let's be honest here, because we know how big our entire solar system is. I'm not saying that there's not some galaxy far, far away where this isn't going
Where
on
it's
right
not
now.
happening, right?
I just don't have, that's not my
It's not a
reality.
frame of, you
So
need the frame of reference.
right. So I don't like it where people fly. That might be why I fell off some of the Assassin's Creed, because like you said, why are you powering up in a
Yeah, where you
video game?
start
Like,
getting
that's not
superpowers.
fighting. So I don't like the fake aspect of things, which is probably why I didn't like the Back to the Futures or the Star Wars or the anything like that,
Yeah,
because it
no,
just
I got you.
doesn't
I hear you.
compute with me.
Now,
It's interesting, but
what I will say is I look at it from the other side of things, which is imagine the possible, right? Like,
right.
do I think the Force is possible? Not really, but like Star Trek, how much technology has been
You
influenced
think
by
it's
Star
not?
Trek in terms of? I mean, here's the deal: is that I think there are several religions here in the world today that have a lot of the same principles as the Force, right?
Right.
It's that there is some sort of energy that connects all of us. Do I think people are able to manipulate that and like shoot lightning from their hands? No. Or be able to lift rocks with their mind? Probably not. Now, do I believe that in some way there is some sort of energy that connects us all? Yeah. I think that that's a fair, and it's almost proven by science, right? It's that matter can be neither created nor destroyed.
Right.
And so, is there something that binds us all together?
Now that's funny though, because going on
Where were you going with it?
that spiel that I just went on with things having to be real or realism, what I you know what I mean, I also subscribe to the thinking that there's so much untapped.
Potential. The whole we only use 10% of our brain or 20%
Right.
of our brain.
And
Yeah.
I'm not even going down that road. I'm just saying factually. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to get scientific and bring in facts, and the facts is what water makes up 75% of the earth's surface.
Yeah.
And they're saying only a quarter of that's ever been
Explored.
investigated. You
Yep.
feel what I'm saying? So essentially what you're saying to me is more than half of this world is undiscovered.
Well, it's the whole that there are sci-fi shows that have explored that, like Sequest DSV.
Well, I'm not even saying, I'm not even equating it to up under the water.
Okay.
I'm just saying, for us to have been on this ball of mass for this long, to have
With all the technology that we have.
and still not tapped into more than half of the world that's actually out there, then that to me equates to us as a people not being able to tap into more than half of what we're capable of.
Okay. I can see that.
We're still young, we're still learning, you understand? So
I mean,
like
as a species, we are, right?
when
Like,
when people say evolution, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like evolution is, it's up to you. You
yeah.
know what I mean? You evolve at your, just because they aren't evolving. You know what I mean? You have to understand that there were cavemen, and then there were people that spoke in their languages. Like, what are these savages over here doing?
Doing.
Because they evolved at a faster rate than anyone else did. You feel what I'm
Right.
saying? So I feel like that stuff is things that may be possible in this world. That's when I say I want to see the zeros and ones, because
Yeah.
I do believe that there's a lot in this world that you just can't explain.
What's the next level at that point?
Right.
That's actually an interesting question. What is the next form of human evolution?
I mean, you see things that people do now that make you question.
I mean, as a species, I think it's close. Well, I don't know. There are some things that have popped recently and I don't know how true they are, but like as a species overall, it seems like we've gotten bigger, faster, stronger, right? Although, and I can't remember if you were the one that posted this or if I saw this elsewhere, but like the giants of Africa,
Oh yeah,
that basically the tribes kind of united, and then colonialism kind of took place, where basically
They had to kill
there
them
were
all.
tribes in Africa that were a larger size,
They said that.
stature, speed, etc., that had to be that basically were wiped out.
Right, because that's something that, I mean, it's something that stands to question the actual reality of the world. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're dealing with people that are literally erasing history. Like, because in the article, they were saying that the average height of the people in these tribes, women included,
And it
was
was you that posted
seven
that,
foot
Ted.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
And they said that the tallest was, I believe, 9'1" or something like that.
Right. Meanwhile, the world record for like tallest woman in the world just got broken, and it's like 6'9".
Right, right. So my whole thing is, if you have people like this that are, if you have people like this that are actually living in this world and they do populate, you feel what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
they populate, there, what can you do to stop that? Like, you're like, it's literally those Egyptian styroglyphs that show the giant being fed grapes by the little people around them. That's exactly what would take place. And you have to think back even further. We find all of these fossils of people that were giants and, you know what I mean, 15 foot tall. And you think to yourself, like, well, wait a minute, maybe these people were evolving to height.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Maybe these people were averaging out the balance, like where we were almost going to meet in the middle. But there were people that were 15 feet tall. This was the average, but we're slowly going even lower, and they're de-evolving into our size.
Well, I mean, it's funny. Like, one, I'm gonna have to quote. I'm gonna have to find your source on 15-foot tall people. But it's funny that you see like the evolution of man, right? And then with technology, it starts coming back down.
Because you gotta think, like, there were, listen, I don't know how much, a lot of people, I get into the whole African ancestry and all that,
Yeah.
and, reading about in the strength of your ancestors and all that shit. So I look into shit, and there's stories of men fighting lions and killing them, and gorillas and killing them, and
No doubt.
you think to yourself, like, okay, a man fighting a gorilla one-on-one and killing it. Doesn't matter who you are right now. In this society that we live in right now, pick the biggest, strongest, that you know what I mean, the most fit to do so. LeBron James, Bob Sapp,
John Jones.
You said who?
John Jones.
John Jones. You feel what I'm saying? People like that. You're not killing a lion or a gorilla one-on-one.
No.
You're not doing that. You don't have it in you to do that. And that's a de-evolution because you never had to do that in the beginning. So there's no point in knowing how to do it now.
Right.
But I say, if you think about a John Jones, a Bob Sapp, and you put them in that environment.
Yeah. Are they able to do that?
Now I'm starting
Is that
to
not
think,
where you were going, or
no, that's not. I'm going to where the white man went.
Okay.
Can we afford to associate with these people?
Right. Okay.
Because at that point, it's almost like you owning a lion.
Right.
Yeah, we're friends right now, but if you choose to, you can destroy me.
Well, I mean, isn't that the whole...
You got to get rid of them.
Isn't that that's the whole message of white supremacy, really, right? It's that in order to protect ourselves, it's not that we're better, it's that in order to protect ourselves, we have to wipe everyone else out.
Listen,
that is the myth of white supremacy. It is telling yourselves that you are better, bigger, or that you are better, smarter, whatever, and so these other people have to be wiped out. And the real reason is that you ain't got what it takes to actually go toe-to-toe with these motherfuckers.
Listen, you know me, you know how I am, and you know that I'm not easily intimidated.
Right.
But I couldn't imagine having to deal with someone like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've ran with a tougher crowd, and certain people are on that pit bull status.
Yep.
Where it's like, yeah, you're a great friend of mine and I love you, but I also know that you could bite my hand if I, rub your neck the wrong way.
Wrong way. Yep.
So you're always on a like a let me see, let me be one step ahead of this motherfucker just in case type shit.
Or try to be.
Or try to be. And that's I feel like that's the colonialism, the narrative. You know what I mean? Let's try to be one step ahead. So with that being said, you have to understand the links that people went to be where they're at today.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And when you think about the links they went, that's not going to be something that motherfuckers is willing to give up easy.
No. I mean, that's the snapback. That's why Trump was elected.
But you know what? That also explains explains a lot of the fear too. You know what I mean? Because motherfuckers is like, oh, these dumbass African Americans are only thinking about slavery. These stupid motherfuckers are only thinking about the last quarter of what we did to them. They're not thinking about all the shit beforehand.
The genocides before.
That's what they're worried about, is all of it. All of it. That's why it doesn't get taught in the history books in the schools, because it's like they almost look at black people like sleeper cells.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they're regular people, but if you say or do something that triggers them, they may turn into something we don't want to have to deal with. So let's keep them asleep.
Well, I mean, that's the whole memes that I've seen going around recently, which is we're not our ancestors, right?
Yeah.
In terms of all the Proud Boys shit and all the fucking white supremacist shit, and it's like, come at me, right? Like, that's kind of the message right now is see what happens when you start this shit. And to your point, I mean, African Americans right now are arming up more than ever, and I support the shit out of it. Like, I just need to make sure if shit goes down, I'm on the right side and people know.
You already know my light-skinned brethren. You already know my light-skinned brethren. Well, listen, I mean, but that's another thing that you have to understand is if that were to ever go down, not only is it a disadvantage just by sheer numbers, it's also a disadvantage that we have to operate by the laws of war.
Yeah.
We can't engage until engaged.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of you that are on this side or neutral. In the neutral ones, I say get rid of them as well, to be honest. You know what I mean? But there's so many that don't have anything to do with this that you just can't afford to harm.
Right.
That it's like you have to wait until, once again, we're in a situation where we have to wait until we're swung on to swing back.
Right. Which is the plight of the African American.
It's always, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that's why did they say, and I thrive. You know what I mean? Me, myself, personally, I talk about it all the time. I feel more comfortable in a dramatic situation than I do in a comfortable one.
Right.
I feel more at home and at peace when someone is about to cause a conflict than when it's my birthday and everybody's singing to me around a cake.
Yeah.
That makes me feel uncomfortable.
You're better being on edge.
That other shit,
for anything.
Now that makes me feel like I'm home.
Right.
We're here now. And it's not a feeling that I enjoy. It's just something that I know. And it's like, okay, this is, you know what to do here. Yeah. Here, you thrive here. So listen, I don't know. Maybe that. Yeah, no, I won't even share that.
And you know what it
I don't
is,
know.
It just hits the no button.
Yeah,
so I'm going to lighten this up a little bit. What I've got, I had an inadvertent thought. And,
oh, you did?
And it was driven by, I don't know, did you see the naked PSA for getting out and voting?
No.
A bunch of celebrities got naked and basically said, go vote, and you don't want to have a naked ballot. And the naked ballot is for all those that did mail-in ballots that you have to put it in like the secondary or envelope before you put it in the primary envelope. Blah blah blah.
Wait. Repeat yourself, please. You said you got to do what now?
So if you requested a mail-in ballot, and Ohio
Right.
is one of these states. I think the state that they gave the example about was Pennsylvania. You have to put it in kind of a security envelope first, and then put it in the main envelope second. Otherwise, it won't count. So there's like a
Well, I wanted to go to the polls.
Well, I hear you, and you know that's I actually think that that's a better idea, but a lot of people decided to mail in. We're mailing in. That's fine.
I'm still not. I'm still not thrilled about this.
I understand, but let me finish my inadvertent before you go down
Yes.
this route. So there was a PSA, so a public service announcement that a bunch of celebrities did, where basically they were naked and talking about quote unquote naked ballots, and so but the whole message was get out and vote, and it's the sex sells, whatever, and it's not like. I don't know. I think the most attractive celebrity in there was Sarah Silverman, which that's saying a lot, right? So so they did this naked PSA, and it got me thinking, that's the new porn right now. That's gonna be the new porn in October. It's not Halloween porn. It's get out there and vote porn. So we had coronavirus porn and the quarantine with the mask and shit. Now it's gonna be, I'll fuck you, but you need to vote for.
Well, listen. See, here's the thing: is you said it yourself. Sarah Silverman was the most attractive. Now, while I would Google Sarah Silverman's naked images, politics already make me soft.
I hear you. I just thought it was, like I said, it was an inadvertent thought. And after we had coronavirus porn, I'm like, why not? We're gonna have fucking election porn, and it's not gonna be about either one of the candidates. I'll tell you that for sure.
I guarantee you, any female that offers to sleep with you for a vote has short hair on their head, long hair under their arms, and bootcut jeans. I promise you that. I promise you.
Oh man.
And she only uses natural deodorants. That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go.
I don't know who that helps. I don't know which way that sways the vote.
I don't know.
Oh shit. But yeah, I'm not thrilled.
Well, I hear you. And I think a lot of people feel that way. And
I feel like
definitely a lesser of two evils situation.
But when isn't it?
It's always, I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying.
And my whole thing is this. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. If you're working under a broken system, it doesn't matter who you put at the head of it.
Don't disagree. Don't
So
disagree.
let me let me be completely honest, and I'm hoping that the older generation is listening, because those are the ones that keep shoving down at least my specific throat to vote. And the more I hear them say that, the more I think to myself, fuck you. Like 100% fuck you. And that's to everyone, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, cousins, whomever. Fuck you. And I'm going to tell you why. The only reason why I say that is because y'all were the children of the OGs. You understand? And I'm going to equate it to the streets. Y'all were the children of the revolution, the children of the civil rights movement, the Black Panthers, the Malcolm X's. And what happened was you let these motherfuckers beat you into submission. You stopped playing the game the way the game needed to be played, the way things actually changed. And you started playing by their rules. And now you're screaming, get out and vote, because that's what they want you to do.
Right. And it's
you gave up on the fight.
It's the whole point of they assassinated so many leaders of the movement
that it's like,
there was
we'll
no
stop.
Leadership left, and
We'll just vote now, boss. If that's what's going to be best for us, we'll just vote. Nah, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Do something. Now it's up to the young bucks, and that's why the streets are in disarray, because you arrested all the OGs, and then the ones before them were like, well, we don't know how to lead shit. So now you got kids killing everybody.
Right. I hear you on that.
All because the generation that was supposed to stand up didn't stand up. And now you're asking me to, thinking the best way to do that is by voting. Fuck you. Fuck you. So to this day, I listen, I registered. I don't know how I feel. I may go, I may not. Because I don't trust the camel, bitch. I don't trust that bitch. And yes, I said bitch. I don't trust her. I don't trust Biden. I don't trust Trump. And I don't trust Pence. The only thing that I do know is Trump and Pence been doing this shit.
Well, and my point on all of, like, here's the point that I put out there this week, which was, if you want to vote third party, start voting third party in down ballot.
Why? This is my whole thing, though. Who gives a fuck about third party? You're still playing the system, bro. System.
All right.
You got to break the system. Well, it's the system. What the fuck?
But all right, but we always come back to this point, and I want to point out I'm not the one that took us down this point. I was talking about porn, and you wanted to get serious.
Look, you were also talking about that porn you were talking about was way down the rabbit hole, sir. I almost rather talk politics than watch that porn.
Ashley chimed in with not the bootcut Gap jeans though.
She knows what I'm talking about. Stop playing. That's not porn any of us want to watch. Shit.
But I mean, what we always come back to in this conversation is then what? So is it just open revolution? Is that the only way?
Listen, I was just talking to my dude. Matter of fact, Malcolm. I was talking to Malcolm about this. You really want to make some shit happen, and what I think. Not no QAnon or no bullshit like that. What was that anonymous group that came out with the V for Vendetta mask?
That's anonymous, yeah.
But it wasn't that QAnonymous shit. It's something different.
QAnon is the whole Republican Democrats are selling babies, drinking blood, raping children,
but
blah blah blah.
What I'll say is this: is what you're gonna need is you're gonna need somebody like that. Somebody like that, and I'm not saying that they're anybody, because they're useless as well. But what I want to say is you need somebody that can hide their face to the point that you goddamn right. Fuck you. You need somebody that can hide their face and get a message out. Listen, what I think the best
that was actually the big thing about the about Black Lives Matter is that they had such a distributed leadership structure. No one's sure, like, there's no single one or two people that are at the forefront of that movement. It is a distributed leadership model where there is not consensus on who a leader is of that order.
I wouldn't doubt a white motherfucker being a leader of Black Lives Matter.
You might be right. I'm not willing to give us that credit, but
so boy, ain't you on the cultural inclusion board at your job?
It was the AARG.
Right, all right, there, motherfucker. I rest my case.
Resource group.
But the only
I also am wise enough to know I'm not going to co-opt a movement.
Like, right, and you're not the one leading it. I get it. That was a little jab.
It was funny.
But what I'm saying is the only way that I can see something happening is let Biden get it. Let the Democrats win. And let somebody come out with a video like Anonymous saying that you got 4 years to turn this shit around before we call everybody to arms. And we tear down this structure that you've worked so hard to build that doesn't do anything to help their people.
Yeah.
And listen, and that's one thing that I will say, that if you get everybody on board, you feel what I'm saying? You get the people who claim to be liberal. Oh, yeah. And the Proud Boys that felt left out when Biden and all them got put into office. Oh, you're going to have a bunch of people willing to tear down the shit. I guarantee you, if it comes to that many people, there's not calling no National Guard.
No.
They're not coming. You think they about to risk their life for the little bit of money y'all giving them?
Right.
And they putting out videos every day talking about, hey, John, why'd you join the army? I don't know, because I'm dumb. Hey, Greg, why'd you join the army? Don't even fucking ask me, bro. Hey, like, come on. Like, they're letting you know. These are videos letting you know, I don't know how much more we're willing to fight for.
Yeah.
And it seems like that's kind of ironic as the country comes to a head. It's only so long for this pimple pops, and you got to understand who's really backing you once it does. But the other reason why I felt so comfortable to get into the politics is because of the title of the show. I thought we were that we were running on and shit. Isn't that what?
That's exactly what it is. So I knew that's kind of what you were setting up. So.
I thought that was my opening.
No, look at you doing the transition. Amen.
Listen,
you know, you just don't ever transition. So
I'm just saying. That's the whole reason I thought we were talking politics, because it's Reggie Jennings 2024.
So, well, we're starting to hear what we're talking about. So, if we were running in 2024, what's our platform, Mr. Jennings?
So listen. Now I'm gonna tell you, I already got it out, right? So I'm gonna just be very brief. When you first brought this up to me, I said that was interesting, right?
Well, and honestly, it was a Facebook comment that got made, and I'll shout him out, Kyle. I saw it,
my guy,
and I thought it was a good topic for a show. I
mean,
don't know why my name's first. Is it just because I'm the white guy? I don't know.
Yeah, you always come first. But
could it be Jordan Jennings, Reggie? I'd be your vice president.
Well, listen. I don't know if Jordan Jennings could go in front anyway. That sounds like a law firm at that point. How many fucking
Jordan
associates?
Jennings and Reggie.
Right? How many associates do you have? You feel me? So, but I don't know. I have 3 policies. See, I didn't know when you said to do this, like it was like we were running together, or we were saying if you were president, what your policies would be if I was president.
I'm saying if we were running together. And I think that this is actually, I think it works well for Do Fools Agree, because we'll have to see what we agree on in terms of policy.
Okay.
And what we're just going to keep our mouths shut about, and what, like, I'm passionate about that you're not, and what you're passionate about that I'm not. And I'm like, all right, well, that's good. You go run on that end, and I'm going to focus over here. So
I only have 3. Some could say 2.5. I say 2.5. But it's listed on the paper as 3. So my very first policy, let's be 100. Rep the fuckerations. Reparations. Nigga, what we repping? Reparations, motherfucker. Wildin' out type style. So, I don't know,
so explain to me how we orchestrate this. Now this is
and listen, and I want you to know, when you said this, the only reason why I threw that tantrum before we got started is because that was the exact way I felt.
That's exactly how we would manage to sway the people.
We'll see here.
We're gonna be the anonymous voices in the background.
Listen, I don't wear masks, motherfucker. But I heard you say it, and I was thinking, well, shit, this is just playing into the fact that we think we got a working system in the first place. But I said, nope, do your homework. And in true Jordan Jennings fashion, I put it off until about 8:45.
When you woke up from your nap?
No, actually, it was right before I laid down.
Oh, okay.
My nap.
It was right before your nap. My bad.
So I played with some numbers, and all of them would be crazy. There's no fiscally responsible way that you could do reparations.
Oh, I beg to differ, Mr. Jordan Jennings.
Well, no, without putting the country into a very deep hole.
You're just talking about in terms of... No, see, I disagree. There's one way, and it's the same way that Democrats have been talking about for years.
What's that?
You tax the 1% at 40%.
Well, see, no, because see, that's still not going to pay it. That's not going to pay it off. That's not going to pay it
Oh,
off.
you trying to? Okay.
Listen, no,
All right.
motherfucker.
Well, this is a situation where we might have to meet in the middle, then, Mr.
Listen, yeah, because let's be
President.
100. This isn't a fucking game. And when I say a lot of these white devils got paid reparations for slavery themselves, the slave owners.
I hear you. Yeah.
No way that it can't not be done. So what I say, I started playing with numbers, and there is, as of 2019, roughly 24,495,487 black people.
roughly.
In the country.
Dre was born today. And
Listen. Now, what I will say is, let's be honest. Out of black, half of them won't qualify.
Oh, so there's qualifications for this? So what are the qualifications?
Of course, there's qualifications. You have to be an African American, a direct descendant of a slave, not Jamaican,
not somebody
y'all
that's
go
immigrated
over to Jamaica.
Not a family that's immigrated in the last 50
none of that.
years.
No Africans. None of that. Okay. None of that are involved.
I think that actually makes sense.
Yeah, so that cuts it down drastically. You may even be able to get under half with that number, but even still, because I did the numbers, we're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars. So,
well, wait. So what's the amount that you're trying to give each descendant?
Well, see, here's the thing. If we're being honest, I feel like, so this is what I Let's hear it. This is what I came to. So I said $50,000 installments to all direct descendants of slaves over the next 5 years. Meaning each year.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
$50,000 installments.
So only $250K?
Well, no. Okay, I didn't put that down. I wanted it to come down. I wanted it to come out to 500,000. Okay. So what I meant was 10 $50,000 installments over the next 5 years, I believe.
Okay.
First quarter, second quarter for the next 5 years.
Oh, each quarter.
Well, not, for its first half, second half. Okay. So you're giving two $50,000 payments a year.
Okay. All right.
So that way, you know what I mean? You could balance out the debt ratio because you can, gain more over that time. It's not like you're paying everybody one lump sum at one time, so you're just coming out of the end.
Right, you're looking at this more like Social Security.
Right. Now, secondly, that's not it, though. That's not it. I don't want that. That's not all. Because even 500,000 is nowhere near what motherfuckers really deserve. But $50,000 installments over the next 5 years, 50% of all marijuana taxation.
But that's the thing right there. You want to know how you pay for it? You legalize weed nationally, and you fucking tax the shit out of it.
And that's what I'm saying. So any farm, dispensary, or retail transactions, 50% of those taxes go to all African American, direct recipients for the next 100
Bulls agree.
years. I would say for the next 100 years that needs to be done. After that, we don't give a fuck what you do with it.
100 years?
And then, yeah.
That's tough to write in, but I hear you.
No,
that's something that's something that would get overturned after we get tossed out after the first.
Well, see, that's the thing, and I knew that would be the case. That's why there has to be something written into the stipulation that it can't be.
All right.
No amendments can be made on this. Lastly, the country gets put under a 3-year probationary period to prove it can treat African Americans both civilly and equally. Otherwise, it must provide African Americans with land and sovereignty.
Okay. So basically saying that if we continue down the current path, you got to
give us a portion of this country and sovereignty to where we get to govern our own land. You don't come into anything we got.
So kind of what we promised the Native Americans, but we don't actually do.
Exactly. So that as well. That way, in that 3 years, if the judgments, you know what I mean, how blacks get judged harsher than whites, if those don't equal out, if sentencing don't equal
My
out, if
my fear
convictions don't equal out,
my fear
all
there
of this,
my fear there is that leads to segregation again. But I hear
and
what you're
that's, you
saying.
know what, though, if I'm being honest, that is what I think hurt us in the first place.
Yeah.
When we desegregated, that fucked everything up with the black
Well,
people.
it's not even desegregated. It's when white folks went in and burned down fucking Black Wall Street.
Well,
Like
see
it's
that,
shit
even
like
that.
that,
Well, no,
right?
see, even that. No, that's fine. I'm not saying that's fine, but you do that and you allow us to build, we can still thrive. But once you take away everything that we had and you say now you have to shop with us, you've just taken the dollar out of our
Out of our
community and
pockets,
put it
yeah.
in yours.
Right.
So that segregation hurt us a lot more than everybody was like, well, see, now you got, no, fuck your rights. We were doing fine by ourselves.
All right, so we've got two things that we're agreeing on so far. We've got reparations, and we've got,
Oh, that was all under my reparations.
no.
All
I
of that was
understand. I'm
under.
not. I'm not disagreeing. That's one where we may have to negotiate a bit, but generally speaking, reparations and legalizing marijuana and using the taxes to pay reparations.
Yep.
So that's two things that we're already agreed on. We got a good platform going so far because I feel like we can get the vote right now.
Listen,
we can
now
you got to remember,
two,
like we're securing the black vote here.
right?
You know, white
Number
folks
two,
ain't gonna put up with much. So
number two is a revision of tax legislation, which what you were saying is taxing the
top
top
1%.
that much. Now I wanted that to allow for at least what your boy Yang was talking about, at least $1,000 monthly stipends to eligible families based on household income.
So
You have a house,
universal income.
right? So if you have a household income of below $40,000, you get this stipend each month. Period. Point blank. Just to even out the economy, there's no reason why these top 5% of these motherfuckers should own all that wealth.
I don't disagree with that.
There's motherfuckers really sleeping out in the cold as we speak, and you got Bezos, aka Mr. Rabbit, out here making his people work 12-hour shifts in COVID really riddled factories to get his fucking profits out.
I agree.
So I feel like
universal income, legalized marijuana, and reparations. All right.
I feel
we
like
got
that.
we agree on.
I feel like that revision of tax legislation.
I feel like we will never get elected.
Well, it depends. See, if we play the game the way they play it, no. But if we play the game the way I play it, a lot of people will start falling off unknowingly.
Say more.
Say more?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Listen, if I got the pull to run for president, I'm about to make change. Get rid of these people. You hear what I'm saying? Get rid of them. I don't care how you do it. Just get rid of them and don't let it come back to me. Get rid of them. Get rid of them. Like 100. Like
we getting the streets involved? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not trusting the streets, baby. I'm talking about motherfucking what's his name? What's my guy's name from the blacklist?
I don't know.
Get me the blacklist guy. I mean the guy that knows everything that's pulling and pushing in the world. That knows what's going on in Saudi Arabia, that has a connect over there in North Korea. That give me him. Because playing the game the way y'all played it ain't worked so far. You feel what I'm saying? So what we're gonna have to do is get rid of some of these witnesses.
Well, so that brings me to mine. The first thing.
I got one more. Last one. This is the last.
All right. I'll hold.
No. There was, and then with the revision of tax legislation, I also wanted immediate resolution of all student loans for students with a specific GPA above a certain amount.
Ooh, all right.
If you show that you're trying, that's an immediate resolution. We resolve your student loans.
Basically,
if you're not making that GPA, then you're basically saying I don't take this seriously.
Well,
let your parents pay for it, or you pay for it.
It's the idea of a free public, or it's the I don't remember what progressives have called it, but it's the universal education but with the stipulation that the only
Right.
way you get it paid for is if you handle
It's
your
show
business.
me you're working. We only help people that help themselves.
I'm
But
surprised.
if
I'm
you
surprised that's coming from you.
listen, the shit,
I
yeah, I
like
ain't never
it. I
not worked
like
for
it.
nothing I got. I don't know nothing about that. I might not have done
Worked.
the work
Worked.
everybody wanted me to do, but I worked for everything that I
I hear
got,
you on
baby.
that. I hear you on that.
And
I think.
lastly, what we
Oh,
about to
okay.
say?
No, go for it. What you got?
My third policy, and this is when I say 2.5, because this may actually go back into reparations a bit.
So
I feel like
wait. We've got reparations. We've got close the tax loops. We've got free public university. This is number 4.
that's
Mr.
all under.
Jennings.
No, that's all under.
Oh, that's
the
still
tax.
all under reparations.
No. Reparations was the 50% of
I hear
marijuana
you.
taxation in the 3-year probation.
Okay, so the marijuana thing, I split out into 2 things. Okay.
No, yeah, that's all the same. Second,
right.
revision of tax legislation is the at least $1,000 monthly stipend, as well as the resolution
and
of student
debt.
loans.
Okay.
Lastly, and this is why I say 2.5, because this, in my mind, goes into reparations as
We're
well.
already in the Green New Deal type territory.
Verbal abuse will be covered under self-defense, the same as physical.
What do you mean?
So if you're being verbally abused by someone, i.e., these entitled white motherfuckers that want to get in people's faces.
If you hear the N-word and you pop somebody, you good.
It's self-defense, just like you were physically attacked.
I don't disagree with that at all.
And I feel like that'll get a lot of white motherfuckers that feel entitled to shut the fuck up. And I feel like that'll get a lot of stress off a lot of black folks that feel cornered, that have to take that shit and walk away like shit didn't happen. You're calling me shit in front of my kids. Listen, me, I don't give a fuck. If that means I catch an assault, I catch an assault. But understand, I'm going to make this charge worth it.
Okay.
I'm not just about to smack you around. I'm going to make sure the next time you hear a word that starts with N, you get flashbacks.
Oh, man. I'm not sure how we're going to get the rural America vote right now, Mr. Jennings.
Listen, it doesn't matter. If y'all don't got nobody to vote for.
If they already been taken out.
Look, I'm on some Putin shit. Like, oh, it looks like there's nobody to run against. Well, thank you, America. I'll see you in 2024. Because, I mean, let's be honest. I know that's some ill shit to say, even for me. But you're not human. You're not human to me. Nobody in politics right now is human to me. Period. You're not human. I don't care what it is you're in for. You feel what I'm saying? I don't care if you're the AOCs and you're trying to make not human to me. Not human.
So where I will at least try to grab some of this. And this you will tell me this is playing by the rules, which I'm fine with.
Right.
I think number 1 is term limits.
Oh no, I'm not saying like when I say I want to be Putin, like I'm just taking over. I'm just saying for this election, I'm gonna do whatever I can legally and illegally to get y'all out of my way.
And the term limit conversation is not about that. It is about there are no such things as career politicians. So not only are there term limits,
I see what
but there are age limits.
Yeah, I agree.
Term limits and age limits. You cannot be over the age of 65 and run for office.
I don't even know if that. I think that's old.
But you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere.
I feel like you gotta cut that off at like 55.
Well, I wanted to say 55, but I'm gonna say 65.
You gotta cut that off because
you gotta start somewhere, Cliff.
You're right, but once you're over the hill, you have subscribed to a different.
There is no reason why we should have 2 presidential candidates that are both over the age of 70. That is fucking bullshit. These motherfuckers aren't gonna be alive long enough to live with their fucking decisions and consequences.
Right.
So that's number 1, running on term limits. We've already agreed on legalizing weed and using that to pay for reparations. We've already agreed on universal income. We've already agreed on what was the other one? Closing the tax loopholes and universal education. I'm all for all of that. So I guess my question becomes, what are we doing for middle America? So what I'm doing for Middle America is I want us to be able to basically plus up anyone's salary in a trade job. So that means farmers, that means mechanics, that means HVAC technicians.
Okay.
I want to add basically a government subsidy to those types of jobs.
Yep.
That's
Yep,
how
I
we
would
start to
agree
get
on
the
that.
that's how we start to get the Middle America vote.
Okay. I would agree. I would agree on that.
See, the problem is that a lot of my things you already hit on, so I'm like, all right, we're good. So that's one. It's the trade subsidy. We need to stop telling kids that the only path forward is a 4-year degree.
Right.
Right. And I'm with you on
Especially when they're seeing that now.
Right.
Especially when you have the numbers going down and people are like, yeah, I skip that college shit. You
Right.
got more motherfuckers making money off of YouTube and Twitch than people coming out and actually getting jobs in the field that they devoted their 8 years to.
Right.
Like, come on. Like, that's how you know that whatever kind of, we're working on an outdated structure.
We are. And when it comes to the outdated structure, the other thing I would end, qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is gone. Period.
I don't even know what that means.
Kind of
tied. What immunity is.
It's kind of tied to the same thing you were talking about around incarcerations, and if we're not treating our African American citizens equally with white folks, qualified immunity is what basically gives police the ability to fucking kill without justification. Or I'm sorry, they can justify it however the fuck they want. So ending qualified immunity is my other big one. And so let's recount this for the folks listening. We've got reparations funded by legalizing weed.
And installments.
We've
and a 3-year probationary period for the country. I think that's the most important part.
I hear you on that.
And the only reason why I said 3 is because the term's only 4.
So I hear you. If
at 2027 you haven't met those, then 2028 this goes into effect.
And I will say that is our biggest stretch one to get like we have to flip,
I don't think so.
We have to flip the House and the Senate to be able to do that.
Listen, we got the dude from Blacklist. It'll happen. We'll be getting openings come up left and right, I promise.
I hear you.
I would listen on 100 on some shit like, and I say that if I had the power to do so, I probably would take all my funding from the presidential campaign and just be paying motherfuckers off. Like, get rid of them. Get rid of them, please. Take them out.
We're not making ad buys. We're making fucking hit buys.
For real. Like, come on now. I'm not playing this game by y'all's rules. Y'all's rules didn't get me nowhere. So let me make up my own.
I hear you. But again, we're in this together, my friend.
Listen, well, you looks like you gonna be my Cody, sir. You about to be my co-defendant in 2028 because they can't put you down under the presidency. What we learned from Trump.
I mean, honestly, with the snapback we're about to see on the liberal side, this shit's about to get real. All right, so we said legalize, or we said marijuana, or blah. We said reparations. We said marijuana. Free public university funded by closing corporate tax.
I didn't say free.
Free if, or no,
you meet
reduce,
a certain GPA.
Yeah, if you meet the GPA.
Because I don't think that it should just be free, because let's be honest, there's a lot of kids who take advantage of that. Very few kids go and have their head on straight immediately stepping into it. And I feel like that is a trait of entitlement. You know what I mean? I know that my parents got this paid, or I don't have too much to worry about with these loans. I'll get assistance. The motherfucker that knows it's all or nothing is going in immediately to try to handle their business.
Yeah, no, I agree. So
I want to differentiate those kids, and they get rewarded. The others, pay your bill, B. Right. Learn early, work, or pay your bill.
No, I'm with you there. All right, so we've got those items. What was your last one? Was
verbal abuse is covered under self-defense, the same as physical.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't got any qualms with that. And so then we go into qualified immunity, term limits, and What else did I have? I'm blanking. I don't know. I think we got a pretty good ticket though.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't think it was bad. I said, let me take this seriously. You know.
I mean, I will give you credit. You took it more seriously than I did, so props.
I said,
to
let
you.
me take this.
So
seriously.
maybe it is Jordan Jennings, Reggie, 2024.
Well, you know it is because I'm charismatic.
That's true. You are.
And I don't have a problem sending the hit out.
There you
go. Handle that
there
for
you
me.
Go. There you go. I got nothing. I think that was a great topic that was inspired by a former classmate.
A fellow fool, Mr. Jordan. If you ain't got hit, get hit, my G.
So I'm assuming he's listening, because how else did he know?
That's my brethren. That's my brethren.
Oh,
I hope all is well.
Right. Yo, I don't know, man. I feel like we've had a good show. I'm almost tempted to just be like, and that's the show.
How long are we in? How much we recorded?
I mean, we're 90 minutes in.
Nah, we can't end it just yet.
We've got 6 viewers out in the chat, so what I'll do is I'll put it out to the chat. Chat, what else you want us to talk about tonight? I think we've had a good conversation. I will say that I've got a kindergarten soccer game to go to tomorrow morning, but I'm willing to go the rest of the half hour. So if
it's all right. You can sleep at the game.
If you got something in the chat, hit us up.
It's all right. You can sleep at the game, sir.
You got anything else you want to take us down the rabbit hole?
You're not missing much. There's no Pele out on that field. I promise you, Mike.
I tell you what, they've put my son, this little Hispanic kid, and one other kid together, and those three are beating teams 9-1, 9-2.
Man,
and I'm just like, guys.
Will Ferrell kicking and screaming out there. Stop
I'm
playing.
not coaching.
And I know y'all don't have no little.
It's not a problem for me. I'm not coaching. The little Hispanic kid, his dad ends up coaching these three, and I'm like, man, go for it, dude. And I tell you what,
it should be. Shit.
His son handles the ball better than most high school players I see.
Listen.
And I'm just like, let him live, man.
I'm telling you, them Hispanics and them purebred Africans, boy.
Right?
That is something you don't want to
game.
see on that soccer field, boy. Have you seen the I can't remember what it's called.
I don't know.
It's a specific video, and it's on House of Bounce, which is odd to me because House of Bounce is a basketball.
Oh, okay.
But they do like incredible leaping abilities and shit. But it's a video of a compilation of the craziest soccer handles by African soccer players. And when I say they do things with this ball that I don't think I could do with my hands.
Yeah.
It was crazy to even see that some of that shit was possible. Right.
I hear you.
I don't know. But nonetheless, I don't care if you got the big three out on the mean green.
No, you're absolutely right. Anything. It's kindergarten soccer. But I also want to do everything I can to encourage my son to stay active, and I know he loves sports. So
listen, showing up is enough.
Yeah, I hear you.
100. I'm not. I'm just being an asshole.
No, I know.
Let me be real.
You want to come out for a 9:15 game tomorrow?
Do I? Listen,
Wolf Park. If you're up, Wolf Park 9:15.
Oh, that's right down the street too. That's not that bad.
That's right across the street from SC.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
This is probably I might be out
there watching it through my eyelids.
This is his quote unquote late game. Most of his games are at 8:15.
Oh, I thought you had a 10. I thought you.
We had a 10. We had a 10:15 last week, but that was the latest one on the schedule. The rest of them, we got 9:15 this week, and it's 8:15 for the last 3 weeks.
That's because the people that run it know there's no fucking Rodondos out here. Let's get this shit knocked out at sunup. No, Rolando, where is he at? Is his son out here?
I tell you what, Sealy is my man. Sealy is the little boy, the little Hispanic kid. He's fucking phenomenal.
Real. He has a
Man.
soccer name.
He does, doesn't he?
He has the name of
for me, it was
footballer.
like it's funny. I was making jokes because Bexley's not very good at sports.
Oh, really?
And so what I said was, this little kindergarten class, man, they might have it. That might be the start of some sports at Bexley.
Listen, all I
they
know
got
is
some athletes in the group.
if they put your son Seeley and whoever the big three's picture up at the high school for this win tomorrow, then we know something.
It was funny because I made the comment last week. I'm like, they're gonna split y'all up next week. Watch it. And the coaches were like, nah, we're playing the orange team next week. We're keeping them together. I was like, all right.
Is it colors? So there's no team names, just colors?
No, it's just colors. We're the black team. Of course we are.
Listen, we got to win somehow.
Hey, man. Whatever it takes, even though there's no black kids on the team.
Right. Oh, you're in Bexley, and we're talking football.
Hey, we got
Let's be honest.
Football.
Right. Let's be honest. If there was a black kid on your team, I'm hedging the bet that he comes out by his 10th grade year. I'm just saying. I'm hedging the bet he comes out by 10th grade.
You're probably not wrong.
I guarantee. I put my life.
We're saying this, and meanwhile, like C-Mac and Shane have both been on, and they both coach there. Like,
what's that mean? Did they play soccer there?
They didn't play soccer, but I mean,
all right.
You got at least a couple of black kids on the track team and the football team.
All I'm saying is, if you're black, you live in Bexley, and your parents have you playing soccer as your first sport out the gate.
I might disagree with you there, just because I think soccer, generally speaking, is the easiest sport to do at 5, like 5.
But
6.
But what I'm saying is, how many black kids say, "Give me a soccer ball"?
Unless they're here from, unless they're
unless they come out
unless
by
they're
their
actually
10th grade.
Africans.
Unless they come out by their 10th grade year. I'm saying if you're from Bexley
but if
and you're black.
But if they're
you're most likely going to play basketball.
Off the boat from Africa, if they're straight off the boat from Africa,
they're not going to Bexley.
Soccer. That's probably true.
They're not. Bexley's not letting them in there. And if Bexley does let them in there, they're calling the police on the dad when he comes to pick up his kid. Twice.
Oh shit. I'm gonna have to make sure Shar doesn't listen to this.
Oh, I know she knows. It's happened once before. I heard.
That's why she's on the diversity committee.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh man,
listen, he's coming out in 10th grade. That's all I got to say. Anybody that, let me be 100, and this is the realest I can be, and I may hurt some people's feelings. Anybody that puts their child into Bexley schools for any reason other than.
Now be careful.
Any black parents that put your kids in
black parents. All right, you're good. Never mind.
I meant black, yeah. That put your kids in Bexley schools with anything in mind other than education. You deserve to have child protective. You deserve to have child protective services called on you. And I mean that with everything in my heart.
You only go there for education. I told you, this is the conversation that I've had with my wife recently.
You're putting that kid through so much.
If my son, really becomes dedicated at sports, I'm going to give him the option by the time he goes to high school. Do you want to play for Bexley, who was 0-10 last year, or do you want to go to a different school?
I mean, that's sports.
Right.
I'm just saying, just be the token black in the school, and you know what I mean. Like, see how that fares, especially in a place like Bexley. You deserve to have CPS called on you, real talk, because you're putting that child through too much for that. What's the education?
Well, and I mean, they've actually had, and I'm not gonna speak on it, but there was a student that basically started a blog or something to that effect that was talking about how racist Bexley schools
were. If you're and I hope Shar, you are listening, and I hope you have the parents specifically in mind that I'm speaking of because I know they're there.
Yeah.
You deserve to have CPS called on you.
I hear you.
There's certain places that you just don't put your kids in, and Bexley's one of them.
Well,
Unless you got unless you got some sort of
unless all it is about is education. I hear you.
But that's what I'm saying. Even if it's only about education, you're also taking so much more away from them. You feel what I'm saying? They're not going to dances. They're not going to proms. They're not going to shit like that. And if they are going to shit like that, they're not going with anybody from that school.
Right.
They're bringing someone outside into that situation, which is just as volatile as putting them in it in the first place.
I hear you. All right, let's. What else you got? Because I want to get off this topic before I get myself in trouble. Hey, no, I got one. So I saw a term earlier this week, and it was a social media.
Well, before you say that, just with that last comment you just made, all I'll say is there were scientists that didn't know they were working for the Nazis.
I hear you.
You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna say,
trust me, this is the conversation I have with my wife regularly.
Whether it gets you in trouble or not, right? Whether it gets you in trouble or not, there's people who have had experience in this situation.
No doubt.
That doesn't equate to the couple years you've been teaching there.
I hear
kindergarten.
You. I hear you. All right, so damn it, now I forgot. Oh no, I got it. So. Listening to or saw a social media post the other day, and either yesterday or today, and it introduced a term to me that I'm like, I really like that term.
Mm-hmm.
And so the post was about a quote unquote Karen, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Karens.
A
Karen at a retail shop that was chewing out a store associate. And a person in line behind them started tipping the woman every time this Karen started spouting her mouth off.
Tipping her like what?
Like putting money in the tip jar kind of deal. So it was like a...
Oh, okay. I see.
You know what I mean?
Saying.
So basically, like, this woman kept yelling at this cashier, for lack of a better... I don't remember what exactly it was. And this dude behind her kept tipping her every time the woman yelled at her. And so at one point, this dude goes, "There's an ATM right there, and I can go all night." And he just kept tipping the cashier. And the term that came up with regards to this post was weaponized compassion. And that just really resonated with me. Like, how could you piss somebody off so much that by being compassionate to another human being, you piss someone else off?
Right.
And so that was my last inadvertent thought for the week was I started thinking to myself, I'm like, how could I weaponize compassion? How could I do that in my daily life?
Did you come up with anything?
I really haven't yet. So that's why I wanted to bring it up on the show. Like, how can you weaponize compassion other than like you see someone being racist and you're like, I'm just going to give you money every time they tell you something. Like, I was trying to think of what are other examples of weaponizing compassion.
Well, see, if I was president, that cashier would have been able to walk behind that counter.
Right, that's true. That's true. That's how you weaponize compassion is you legalize verbal abuse as self-defense.
Listen, you can say whatever you want to me, but understand you may be talking to the wrong right one. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I've said it on this podcast a few times. Last motherfucker that called me a nigger filed assault charges. You hear what I'm saying? It's all I have to say. I don't give a fuck if it is legal or not. You can choose to say whatever it is you like. But Karen or not, you may catch me on a day where I might want to open hand a female.
Yeah.
So watch who you're talking to. I'm not in the mood today, Karen.
It's not
and I don't see you as a man or a woman. I see you as somebody in my fucking face that's about to get her teeth smacked out.
I hear you. My other so just now an inadvertent thought is
Jordan Jennings, 2024.
my other inadvertent thought just now was the only Karen that I know in my personal life. She's cool. Like I like her. She's
Oh, her name is actually
yeah,
Karen.
no, her name's actually Karen, and she's not a bad person. It's funny because I don't want to say what her last name is, but I call her Cash Money because her last name starts with Ash.
Okay.
And so I just call her Cash Money because I feel bad calling her a Karen.
That's all I would call her. And then I wouldn't even call her Karen. I would call her the.
You just
The
call
Karen.
it
The Karen. The Karen. Hey, the Karen over there. Can you go get the Karen over there? All that. Now, okay, since we're approaching
the end of the
almost
show.
a good spot to end. This is something. This is just gonna take us completely off topic.
Oh, I love it. Let's go.
We've already addressed it earlier with my inadvertent.
So we're good to go.
Right. We already addressed it earlier with my inadvertent, right? So, the American Pie.
Okay.
And what I was thinking was, you're giving little boys jack off material. So, with that being said, what was your go-to movie back in the day when you were a kid? No porn, had to find a movie to jack off to.
When did 8 Mile come out? Like when he's fucking Brittany Murphy.
I knew exactly what you were talking about.
That's the one that came to my mind right away.
Wasn't there porn by then? No.
That's why I'm asking. Was it then? I don't know. I'm trying to think. That's why I was asking when that came out. Was that high school? Is that a problem? I'm trying to think, like, that's the only movie I really remember, like, all right,
just
fuck
made
it.
my day.
Fuck it. Why not?
I'm red. I turned red. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. So, the first that popped into my mind was Soul Food. You remember Soul Food?
Yeah.
You remember when he was fucking the girl in the attic and Vanessa Williams walked in on him or something like that?
Yeah, I got you.
That was a go-to.
I also feel like I was kind of a late bloomer. Like, by the time I thought about it, I was almost already having sex.
What was that movie with the chick from Saved by the Bell?
Oh, I have no idea.
Where she was the stripper.
I got nothing.
You know what I'm talking about? Not Kelly, not Lisa. The tall one with the curly hair. Showgirls? Not Showgirls. Was it Showgirls?
Might have been. Showgirls was, I don't know. Like I said, man, I was a late bloomer. I was like...
I don't think that's right, though.
I feel like by the time I was really, like, jacking off, really, like, I feel like I was already fucking, so it's like...
Right. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Y'all definitely got there earlier than I did. Trust me.
You know.
Uncle Dan chiming in, Showgirls.
Right. Yeah, I see you've been there too. Yeah, no, I
wish I had a better answer for you.
I was probably a little faster than I probably should have been.
I mean, that's not like I said, I was a late bloomer. And by the time all that came down, like there were girls that were interested, and I wasn't saying no. So, honestly, if it weren't, that's how mine happened. Was my first time was the girl saying she wanted to take it, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, is that right? So you were the passive guy. You were
I was, and honestly, for the most part, like I stayed the passive guy. Like I was never into a girl who wasn't into me first.
Oh no, I was going after it.
Now, see, I don't think I ever really was. Like, yeah, there were probably a few, but for the most part, Like, I wasn't shooting my shot unless I knew I was gonna hit. Like,
That takes a lot, though.
I had to be wide open.
I mean, nah, you got listen. Let me be 100. I've had moments of being nervous, like, you know what, like, she just may be a little too bad for you to, you know what I mean? But the me in me, you know what I mean too. Like,
yeah, no, I do.
I talk to myself the same way I talk on this podcast to everybody else. Like, if that bitch ass don't get the fuck up and go handle your business, you pussy motherfucker. And I'll be like, okay, you right, let's go. And you know what? It's funny that all those times where it's like, yeah, you're not gonna get that one. What's the one you get?
got?
And it's like, damn, Joe, you need to start, like, step outside of your, you know what I mean?
Uncle Dan chiming in with risky business subway scene, even if there is.
You talking about Demi Moore? Listen, I see that. You talking about Demi Moore? I know about that too.
Oh man, I mean, like I said, for me. It was. They were always interested first, and honestly, I think it was because even though, you know, you and I have done what we've done. And my wife will never believe this, but I have never had confidence. I never had confidence in that realm, and so unless I knew it was a sure thing, I wasn't willing to shoot a shot. Like, so I don't know.
Well, you know what? Like, I've always been somewhat
cocky. I know, we grew up together,
but I mean, even still, you know what I mean? Everybody has that question to themselves, like, they question themselves in certain situations. I mean, it was something that I wasn't always like that, though. You know what I mean? I was sure of myself in certain situations,
right?
But it wasn't until I became older and more experienced that I started understanding that all situations are relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is no different from that. Right. And if you bitch out here, you're going to bitch out there. So you have to start putting yourself in positions to, like, you
gotta put yourself in a position to win the game. I hear you.
Period. Not even win the game. Like, you gotta step outside of yourself sometimes. Like, there's certain situations where your mind and your body will freeze you in place.
Yeah. Because
they don't trust you. And all you got to do is take that leap. You feel what I'm saying? Just that jump. That's like, you know what? Fuck it. Just jump. And usually those jumps, even if you don't land correctly and it's not a 10 out of 10 dive, the experience, the rush you get from it, the knowledge you learn from it is just as good.
I hear you.
You feel what I'm saying? It's
I don't disagree with you on that.
And what do they say? They say it takes 21 days to make or break a habit.
Yeah.
So if you could push yourself to step outside of your comfort zone for 21 days straight, I guarantee you your comfort zone expands.
I completely agree with you. I'm just saying that wasn't my
all I'm saying is this cockiness or confidence that you want to say. It wasn't like I was born with it. You know what I mean?
No, I hear
First of all, when you have a dad like mine that forces you into situations that you already feel you're not ready for, you start to realize I'm damn near ready for about anything. I just didn't know I was.
I hear you on that. And that's also where we are very different.
So
the message to the kids out there, shoot your shot.
Listen, shoot your shot, G. But not like American Pie style. Like, let's be civil about this, right? Like, you want to be suave, not Brock.
True.
You want to be Rico Suave, not Brock Turner, is all I'm saying here.
True,
and also, before we wrap up, my perverted ass even beat my meat to the Don't Be a Menace scene where he was fucking the chick in the mail truck and she turned into the monster. Oh yeah, he got into that as well. He got into that. You know what? Before we close out.
All right, what do you got?
This is the last thing, and this may be a good way to end it. because, like you said, I do think we had a decent podcast. We got a little serious there early, so
I think
let
we were
me
solid all the way around. Not bad for our last late show. Before
listen.
we
You
get
know,
back to our normal shit next
we
week.
gotta go out with fireworks. This is the grand finale of our food truck podcast edition. So we gotta go out with a bang, right? Okay, so here it is. What were you about to say?
No, I was just about to say, by the way, anybody that's interested in being on the show over the next couple of weeks, hit us up.
Back to regular time.
We will be back to regular time, and we wanna mix it up a little bit more.
Definitely welcome. Would love to have some new guests that we haven't seen before. Some that are due that still haven't shown up. You motherfuckers know who you are. Fuck y'all.
Well, I also know that I got to send Aaron his shirt. So once Aaron gets his shirt, we'll have Aaron back on. I'll try to get it out in the mail tomorrow.
He owned his talents hostage. He's like, I'm not getting back on there until. Okay, so listen.
All right, I'm listening.
So about a week and a half ago, I actually meant to bring it up on the last podcast. I guess I just didn't feel like it was an opening for it.
All right.
Okay, before I go into it, let me ask you a question.
I'm listening.
Do you dream a lot now that you're older?
I actually think I dream less most of the time.
Yeah, I don't dream at all like anymore. Like I feel like it's like I'm just sleep. It's just black. There's nothing going on there. I'm just sleeping.
Honestly, the only time I dream, it ends up being fucked up shit that I wish I hadn't dreamt.
You said you took the words out my mouth. So listen, I had this dream, right? And it was so vivid. Like it was so vivid, it felt so fucking real.
Yeah.
And it brought me back. It seemed like it was like a high school. I don't know why you always go back to high school or like,
absolutely.
or like a work situation, but it was more casual, like a high school.
Yep.
Like I don't know, but it was one of those situations where it was a large group of people. You know, we were all around each other, blase skit. So
it's twice you've used that tonight, and I fucking missed it.
What? Blase
skit. You brought that back a couple times tonight.
I do all that. I can't listen. But okay, so there were in this dream, right? There were two young ladies. It seemed that I was interested in these young ladies in this dream, right? Okay. One was one that I knew from real life, right? Now, this is funny. This is funny too. And it almost kind of explains myself to a certain degree. So one of the girls in my dream was this girl that I met way back in the day. And when I say way back in the day, I mean like probably 7th or 8th grade.
Yep.
We probably talked for like a year or so, but couldn't really do much because we weren't old enough to meet up and do shit, right?
I hear you.
After a while, stopped talking to her, right? Run into her again recently, not recently, but like within the past couple of years, start talking to her again and kind of realize it was never really what you thought it was in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a fucked up feeling because you elevate this person so high for no reason.
Right. I know exactly what you mean.
And then when you're actually in a situation where it's plausible, it's like, this isn't what I thought this was.
Right.
Like, so nonetheless, one of the ladies in the dream was this person. The other was somebody that I don't know. Like I didn't recognize her.
Okay.
Nor was her face extremely visible.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like from a dream aspect. You know what I mean? Like, you know how somebody you know from a dream, very detailed. I know your face. I know you in real life, so I know the details of your face. This person was just like avatar, insert avatar here into his dream.
Gotcha.
So the face wasn't a face that stood out to me, nor was it one that I was extremely attracted to. But I knew from the dream I was attracted to her, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does.
Okay. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. So something happened in the dream to where we were evacuating the building that we were in. I don't know what it was, whether it was a high school, whether it was a job. We were evacuating, right? And you know how, like, when you do fire drills at your job or at your high school, you gotta, everybody meets up at
Yep. Get to
lot
your spot.
E
Yep.
at this light pole, right? So we're all meeting there, right? Everybody's there. The one girl with no face isn't. She's
Uh-oh.
not there. So everybody's like, well, where is she at? You know what I mean? Everybody make sure she's good, fine, so and so. I look up and she's walking across the wire. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like the street
shit.
lights and the
Tightrope
wires that
walking.
connect.
Yeah.
Walk right, tightrope walking across the wire, right? Now, as she gets to the end, like from one pole to the next where we're all congregating, she jumps off the light pole and some parkour shit, tucks rolls, hits the ground, gets up on her feet.
And you came.
Right. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It wasn't like, it was very real. It wasn't like she was just mad graceful when she did it. It wasn't like a very graceful thing. Nonetheless, I was impressed. You feel what I'm saying? I'm impressed regardless. So here we are. Now, in the dream, as this happens, I'm looking at her. I make eye contact with the other girl who I do know, and she sees that I was impressed, right? So what she does is she starts pushing up on me, like, being overly sexual, like pushing up on me. And what happened in this dream was inevitably I went with what I knew. I went with the girl that pushed up on me that I knew from the past, as opposed to the girl that, did the whole, that impressed me. And when I woke up, I thought to myself, like,
this is counterintuitive to what you just said.
What do you mean?
I mean, you were saying sometimes you got to push yourself outside your comfort zone.
Right. And exactly. I'm glad you said that, right? I'm glad you said that. Because when I woke up, I was like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Because I don't have the utmost control in my dreams.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I can control the dream, and then sometimes I'm just on a preset track and I'm seeing what's happening as I'm going through the dream. But it's not like I'm controlling me. I'm just along for the ride, and it's off in auto mode. It's in Tesla mode at that point. So I wake up and I say, why the fuck would I do that? Because when I saw the girl jump, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm making a point here. When I saw the girl jump off the light pole and do that, I got a feeling in my stomach, like those butterflies from back in the day, like when you had a crush on somebody.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I ignored this, and I went with the girl that pushed up. And I thought to myself that this is very familiar, because I've been in situations before where I have been interested in two females. One has impressed me with something specifically, but I chose to get with the more sexually aggressive person.
Right. Well, I hear you.
And I feel like that dream was a reminder of this. Like, listen, motherfucker, somebody might show you A, somebody might show you B. Just because you know B more, don't be scared to go with A, right?
It's true.
You know what I mean? Going outside of your comfort zones. Just because you know B more, don't be scared to go with A. And then immediately after having this thought, I thought to myself, well, why the fuck would I have this dream anyway? And I prayed for 15 minutes that God didn't plan on putting a woman in my life. You hear what I'm saying? I said, I hope this is not a sign that you are trying to bring me a woman.
Right.
Because I pray that does not fucking happen. I do not want a crazy fucking animal in my life right now. You hear what I'm saying?
I hear you.
I got enough of them.
There you go.
But I said that to say, wrap it up. Don't be afraid to go outside of your normal comfort zone.
I agree with that. Don't be afraid to go outside of your normal comfort zone. Cliff, you got anything to take us out here?
Well,
make it quick because I gotta piss.
Since you asked, whoever out there has watched knows I love you. The rest of you that don't know I love them, I might not.
Dragging this shit out.
But if you like anything that you heard tonight from me or Mr. Reggie, Jordan Jennings Reggie 2024.
Hey, man. Jordan Jennings Reggie 2024. I have been at the Geeky Coach, as always, here with my main man, Cliff Jennings. I do want to give out a quick shout out to King Vision 412 for the shirts. We appreciate you. I saw you chime in there in the chat. Hey, man. Boom. Love them. Good work. We appreciate you. Do us a favor. Like, subscribe.
I ain't watched it yet, so I know. I don't know.
I have watched mine, and it's still good. So
okay.
I'm good. Hey, we appreciate y'all.
My G.
Like, subscribe, all that shit. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Jordan Jennings, Reggie 2024.